y'all.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of
Smith
and
Waker.
Smith and Waker. Wait, we're out of practice.
Yeah, it's going to take us a while to get back in the groove.
It's been a while.
Been too long.
Long time.
It feels like it's been a year, but really it's just been a season.
That's a long time though. Like I feel like we're starting all over again. We're stuttering and stammering through our stuff, but man, do we have some fun stuff to talk about with you all.
So much.
It was an awesome season, first of all.
How many miles do you think you got this season?
You know, I was going to call in and find out, because I think I had some work done at the beginning of the season, and so I was going to call and see what my mileage was at that time. I don't even think I can't even guess.
Well, between my two bikes, news.
She got another one.
That'll come. Just wait. I think I put on about 17 and a half.
Woo! I can't be too far behind you then. You had a couple of trips without me.
Yeah.
And I had one without you, but
mm-hmm.
I can't be too far behind that.
No, and you did a couple of rides just by yourself, like whenever you pre-rode a few things.
3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I'm, like that.
It's safety conscious. Daisy. It's safety conscious.
Yes, that's it.
So,
so, big day yesterday.
Huge.
We put an invite out on the Lady Riders of Minnesota page that we have, because we are here in
Minnesota. It's 27 degrees here today. I know all of y'all are jealous.
Yeah. And we had a bunch of ladies come over, some that have ridden with us, some that have not, some that didn't even know us, came over, and we hosted a Friendsgiving.
Because it's November. It's a month to reflect on. I mean, you should always reflect on what you're grateful for, but it's certainly the month to kind of put that in front of you. And as this is the end of riding season, it kind of paralleled perfectly.
Yeah, make perfect sense. So we had tons of ladies, tons of food, tons of laugh, tons of tears.
A lot of tears. I'm a crybaby.
She so was a crybaby.
Yeah.
But I actually cried yesterday.
Yeah. She's a crybaby too. Not her, yeah.
But part of the reason why we got so emotional is because it was really fun to hear that the things that we set out to do in this were happening. And so we thought it'd be a good idea to maybe start back up our recordings with a reflection on why we did this and what we were hoping for it. So Monica actually started, I moved up here from Oklahoma, as many of you have been following this for a while know, in December of 18. I was a newer rider when I moved up here. I didn't know anyone whenever we moved up here. My husband works for St. Paul Harley. He's a sales guy if you need a bike. His name is Stefan. But I didn't know anybody. I didn't know any women who I could ride with. I'd reached out on some national groups to find out if there were any women locally that would help me get established with some friends to ride with. And so I took a part-time job downstairs in the motor clothes department at St. Paul Harley, where we're recording this at. And Monica was a customer, and we met on International Female Ride Day of 2019. Yeah, I had to count backwards, which I'm not good at math, as most of you are aware. Left, right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So, and Monica and I kind of just in passing talked about what our passions were in riding, and that there weren't a lot of organized rides here in Minnesota for women, and I'm finding that is everywhere. That's not just here. Yep.
Women struggle everywhere to find other women to ride with, authentic women, transparent women, women who believe in inclusivity and just acceptance. And that's what we set out to do, just to kind of create that atmosphere and give people a platform to connect. And that's how Lady Riders of Minnesota was started. It's a Facebook group it's a private Facebook group from Minnesota women, and it just kind of jumped off from there. That first year was just about everybody kind of getting to know each other through the Facebook group, I'd say. Yep. October of
and it was growing. It was growing steady but slow. And then
we planned the ride to Milwaukee.
Milwaukee came.
Milwaukee 8. There were 8 of us on that ride. It was the first large group ride. I'm saying this large group ride right now for me because there were 8 of us. And I was freaking out. Oh my God, I tried to back out of it so many times. I don't know, how am I going to do this? I don't know any of these women. I don't know how to lead a ride. Monica's like, you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. She was an experienced group rider. And all highway there, went to the museum, all highway home. But by God, I did it. And what was the biggest ride you think we did this season? with women. Not that numbers matter, but just to show the growth, just to show if you are one of those women who wants to do a group ride and wants to organize a group ride and you're intimidated by doing it. I started with a group of 8, including myself. Our largest group ride this season was probably, aside from International
I was going to say
Day.
International Female Ride Day was like 50 for us. But then, what was it, the waterfall ride?
It was nothing to have 20, 25 women on a casual ride that we threw together.
And even our dinner rides started to become very popular. And we were, sometimes initially when we started out, it was, 4, 5, 6 people, and then all of a sudden it was 10, and then it was add another chair, add another table, and people were showing up from all over the place. So it's been fun. It's been fun to watch it grow, and it's even been more fun. One of the things we set out to do here was to make sure that we hooked women up with other women, and so all of a sudden we're starting to see other women, Lisa, leading rides. We've seen other women. Jen and Martha, to name a few, and Chris, who have become friends and now are kind of hanging out and riding together, which is exactly what we were trying to get people to do. So, it's been a blast, and it's working.
Because this isn't Mollie and Monica or Monica and Mollie. This is about everyone. Like, the only reason why this stuff is even remotely successful is because all of the women who are a part of it. Like,
we couldn't be successul if other women weren't riding with us. It would just be us
fooling
around.
We just happen to enjoy doing what we're doing right now.
Right.
So,
right.
So it started out as that, and then
and it grew and it grew and it grew, and we learned things.
Oh
gosh, we learned tons.
I've learned that I have a lot to learn.
I've learned things about myself. I've learned things about riding. I've learned things about other women. I've learned things about giving grace and
to myself,
to other people, to being forgiving of things. It's just been the most awesome experience. It's just been. I smile when I think about it, for sure.
Yeah.
How about you? What are you getting out of it?
Growth, and we did an episode on Daisy about empowering women and each other, and being sure that we're seeing the good parts of people instead of focusing on the parts that may be different from us and then we don't quite relate to or understand. And because we have been able to adopt that kind of an attitude and mentality, and it's infectious, right? So there's not a lot of negativity in this group of women, which you don't find very often. There's not a lot of gossip or infighting or any of that stuff, and it's just because we walk that walk. Like Daisy, every day, Daisy. I Daisy myself.
And we get daisied. All of a sudden we'll be talking about something, and we'll say something negative about ourselves, and somebody else who we don't even know will say, Daisy.
Oh, you watched that. But there was a time, I got kind of in the middle of this, just to be transparent, when it gets exciting and it gets enthralling, and you look around and you see all of these women that are coming forward and living their passion, right? Because I kind of touched on this last night whenever we were at Friendsgiving. For me, riding has been kind of an outlet where I have been able to find myself. Riding a motorcycle helped me to...
Waterfalls. We went on a waterfall ride. We got our own personal waterfall right here.
It helped me reintroduce myself to myself. I remember that I was allowed to have a passion. I was allowed to have something that I was excited about, that I could share with other people. I'd been a mom and a wife for most of my life. I had conformed to what everybody else said that I needed to be, and then I started riding a motorcycle. And that became such a freeing experience, such like a method of expression that I'd never had before. And I get to share it with all these incredible women, and I get friends like Monica, and we get to do things like this, and it's just amazing. So I got wrapped up in all of that, and I was like, ooh, what if we can make this super big? Like, I was excited about what we were doing, but I wanted more. And it's easy for that to happen whenever you have a little bit of success. So I was like thinking, well, I want to be a Harley-Davidson ambassador, and I still do want that, but not to the same degree that I did. Like, hey, Harley, if you're watching and you need a couple of middle-aged women ambassadors, we got you. But that's not my key, goal now. my key goal is just to continue working on this passion and connecting with these women on a personal level and helping women remember you can make friends and have a sisterhood even at this age.
Yeah. And sometimes, we were talking yesterday during the Friendsgiving, we were going around and talking about what we're thankful for. And one of the ladies mentioned something about finding friends at this age can be difficult.
Very difficult.
But I also think it can be a little easier too, because we've gotten at our ages, we've gotten beyond, hopefully, some of us have gotten beyond the petty stuff, that we know that everybody has a life, and what happens behind their closed doors could be very different than the person that they present themselves as, and that can be hard on people.
It can be.
So to find some friends that you can be open and honest and transparent with is rare.
It is.
And when it happens, it's amazing. One of the things I found, and I've told the story a number of times, but one of the things I found on one of our rides to the Wisconsin Dells, and we'll talk about all the fun that we had there too. But when we sat down to get to know each other a little bit during that ride in the evening, it amazed me how many women had the same things going on that didn't know that they did. So they could share resources, they could have conversations about it, whether that be, trouble that they're having at work or trouble that they're having at home, or looking for resources for X, Y, or Z, and somebody else knew it. All these women started to connect, and it was just it was super fun to watch that happen as well, and all in the name of motorcycle riding.
Yeah,
which is the best part.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of myself that I didn't break down into non-speaking sobs.
It's good, and your makeup still looks nice too. That's awesome. So
I don't know why I make those ridiculous faces. It's my thinking face.
He's taught me to do it too, but I haven't done it yet on camera.
Yeah, it's earthy.
So I think the kicker here is that it's happening.
Yep.
What we set out to do is happening. We love what's going on right now. We are going to start getting these, like our Lady Riders of Minnesota, start getting some additional pages popping up around, and other people kind of leading that effort so that we can make friends all over the country.
Yeah. And help build, just kind of touching back on some of those national groups, if you are in any of them, you pay attention, there are women everywhere that are like, I don't have anyone to ride with, and they're begging for that. Minnesota has so many different women's groups to ride with. There is never a shortage in riding season for finding women to ride with at this point.
Yeah. And
it's beautiful. I love it. I love how it's growing and how there's so many options.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of having all of those groups is you can find the one that fits you best.
Right.
That's the exciting part about it, is that they vary a little bit. Their styles vary a little bit, so you can find the one that fits best.
And since we have made a few friends in some different states, Monica and I did a ride we didn't know where we were going. We ended up in Colorado, but we'll tell you more about that later too.
That's a good one too.
And we were able to meet Stacy down there. Hi, Stacy.
And Laurel.
Hi, Laurel. And we haven't actually talked to them about this, but there is a Lady Riders of Colorado, a Facebook group that we started, and we're going to approach them and see if they'd like to kind of admin that group and try to start building there what we have started here. And I just think it'd be awesome if we could just, in the name of motorcycle riding, not under any other branding or trademarking or any other, no monetization of anything, just truly a opportunity for women to come together and ride.
A place to find each other, right? I mean, that's how this all started. We were looking for places to find each other. I didn't know that they existed. That's why I made my own page. I said, well, heck, if they don't exist, I'm going to make one. And then Molly jumped on board with me, and off we went.
Yeah.
It's been uphill, downhill, squiggly lines.
Lots of squiggly lines. A few fainting bikes.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've decided we don't have dropped bikes ever.
No, they faint.
They faint.
They're overwhelmed with excitement and just kind of go.
And everybody learns to pick up their fainted bike.
Yeah, at least the first time.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
where do you want this to go? Like, how do you want this to continue growing? I'm talking about the riding group, not.
I want to be able to go to another state, find the admins of that group, and go hang out with a bunch of ladies there. That's what I want to do.
That would be like an awesome opportunity for women to travel. Like if they want to go to a different state and you don't know where to ride, Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You get on, you go find these other ladies, you're like, hey, I'm going to Colorado. I'm going to look up Lady Riders of Colorado, and I'm going to find Stacy and Laurel out there, and I'm going to go ride with them. Or they can at least hook me up with people that can ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That got me. That got my brain going.
She's reeling.
I am reeling.
So that's kind of our kickoff for this recording episode season. We've got some fun stuff coming up in the next few recordings.
Yeah, we've got lots of rides to talk about. So we stopped recording these episodes. Did I say in March? Or
March, I think you said.
Yeah, into March, and then we did our first long ride in April, where we rode to Rochester and met some wonderful women down there. We led a group ride from St. Paul Harley down there, and then back, and then from there I don't know. Good grief, I'd have to go back and look at the calendar.
I was just looking at the calendar, and I kept saying load more, because there were so many on the list. So yeah, there's lots there.
Yeah. Then we've started planning for next season, International Female Ride Day on May 7th, I think. May 7th. Yep. I could sneak in our calendar over there. I'm pretty confident it's May 7th. And then we've just got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we didn't want to cram it all in one episode, but we kind of wanted to give you a little bit because we haven't been on in a while, and I found TikTok.
Oh gosh, did you find TikTok? It's funny as all get out.
Yeah, I found TikTok. So
I think we had some TikTok before because we pushed the button and blew the horn down there on TikTok.
Oh yeah, we did. So, we did do that.
But we put more stuff on TikTok.
Yeah, and we've been using a writing app called Relive. If you don't know about that, like you can record your rides, and if you take pictures on it, it drops the pictures in where you took them, which is kind of handy. That's a lot of fun. So you'll see some of those in some of our upcoming episodes, just because it's a storytelling app about your ride, and
tells you how fast you're going,
your top speed, your highest elevation.
Yeah, some fun stuff.
And we'll talk about our trip to Colorado.
Oh yeah. I didn't know you could ride the Rockies.
Yeah,
I know, and we did.
We did. A few times.
And it was super fun.
The Canyon Road became our obsession when we were there.
We were finding reasons to go back and forth to Estes Park all the time.
All the time. Even though we did almost get stranded in Estes Park.
We did. That's a whole nother story.
We did a couple of long weekends with the girls, Duluth, long weekends, weekend rides, Duluth and Wisconsin Dells.
Oh yeah.
So we've got so much to talk about.
Yep.
And we're looking forward to sharing that with you guys. So yeah.
Huh. So what's your goal for next year, or next riding season?
Next riding season.
Do you want to tell them about your new baby?
I think I'll save it for another episode.
She got a new baby.
I did.
She had a baby over the season.
I have two now. The hardest part of having two bikes is only having one ass. You can you can only ride one at a time. But they both serve different purposes, so.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, so we'll throw a couple of little pictures up from the season at the end of this, just kind of a slideshow and a teaser for what's to come. And what are you looking forward to
this season? More miles.
More miles, yeah.
Lots of miles. I'm looking forward to traveling with some folks that I've never traveled with before. That's always a joy, and can be kind of scary sometimes because you don't know how people travel. I like to think I'm a pretty easy traveler, but I think when we found out what I discovered about myself, and you probably realized it when we were on our trip together, is that I'm also indecisive about, like, indecisive, not like I can't make a decision, it's just it doesn't matter to me.
You're so easy to, like, you just kind of go with the flow.
But that can be hard too.
Yeah.
Because then somebody else is always making the decision, and not everybody likes to make it. Yeah. In that case, it was you. But yeah, putting miles on and getting more ladies out there. And I hope that we can do, we started doing some mentoring rides, and I hope to do a couple more of those this year.
And I hope, one of the things I really hope for next year is that we're actually able to, so as Smithandwaker, Monica and I have like this shirt, I wash them when you can ride them. We did a rally this year. Also, Queen Sit came out and was our spokesperson, our keynote speaker for that. That was pretty awesome. We'll talk about that too. But it was called the Why Wash Them When You Can Ride Them rally. And we sold shirts. Let me just say, like, completely disclaimer, nothing that we will ever do will be money for personal profit for us. Ever, ever, ever. I never want to ask for money from anybody that's going to go in my pocket.
We're not retiring off of this.
No, this is just for fun.
In fact, it's probably going to cost us money.
Yeah. So if anybody ever comes to you and asks you for money for rides that we organize, or to buy tickets for something or something ridiculous like that, no, that's not us. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't fall for it.
But so we sold these shirts. The profits from the shirts go to a fund that we're building to help pay for scholarships for women who want to take the beginner's rider's course to learn how to ride a motorcycle. So far this season, we collected how much money?
$27.30.
We're well on our way.
We know that there are two women that we've already given that scholarship to.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming, ladies. It's coming.
But I would like to see us be able to help more women in that way, to be able to
Pay it forward.
Yeah, definitely pay it forward.
Yeah.
So
Good.
So that about wraps it up, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, so be sure to like, follow, share, and all that stuff that they ask you to do whenever you're watching these videos. If you have any content you'd like for us to...
Any ideas?
Any ideas, yeah. In the future episodes that we do, we're going to bring some of the other ladies that we rode with in this season to kind of talk about their experience. We've had a couple women who this was their first season that got like 8,000 miles on their bike in their first season. It's insanely exciting.
Yeah. Super cool.
So I feel like I've done all the talking.
You haven't. You're good.
Okay.
Do you want me to fill in for a little?
Yeah.
Da 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 da. I can. Okay.
Okay. Enough of that.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We will be back in a couple of weeks, I would say, to come up with, or to do our next episode, where we'll talk about our first kind of half of the riding season and what we experienced and where we went and what we did. And
or at least the first third, because the first, so much.
Yeah, it may even be the first group.
Yeah.
How's that?
First
Could be
rides.
third, fourth, could be fifth, depending on how many we show. All right.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the calendar thinking, some of those rides feel like they were last season, but they were okay, we've already covered that mess. Enjoy the slideshow that's to follow with a few of the different things that we did, including a little commercial that we made on International Female Ride Day.
Yeah.
And remember, we come here to talk about women, motorcycles, and fun.
Motorcycles and fun.
Where there's always room for one more.
Always.
And what other cheesy outtakes can we make right here?
Smithandwaker.
Out!
See ya.
Because I'm a mom.
Because I have an autistic son that needs me to come home and help him with life.
Because it's my primary mode of transportation.
Because I'm a teacher.
Because I got a parrot at home that no one else is going to take if I die.
Because I'm a daughter.
Because I'm a human being. I'm in the prime of my life.
Because I want to live long enough to retire.
Because I'm a sex therapist.
Because I'm a mom and a grandma.
Because I like racing motorcycles.
Because I want to see my grandchildren grow up.
Because I want everybody else to be safe too.
Because I have family.
Because I'm a mom and a grandma.
Because I'm a daughter.
Because I'm an instructor.
Because I'm an insurance professional, a sister, a mom, and a wife.
Because I'm a mom, a wife, a friend, a sister, and a daughter.
And this is why you watch for motorcycles. Hey everybody.
Hey everybody, and welcome to
Smith
and Waker.
It's been a minute.
Yep, and we're gonna do some clowning.
A lot of clowning. Okay.